bisita natin, bukod sa mga nagagandahan at gwapong representative from AboitizLand, it's just like a one-stop shop na nakaupo lang tayo at the convenience of our home. Pwede pala tayong mamili ng bahay kung saan natin nas gusto at nandito rin ang tutulong sa atin para ma-afford natin ang bahay na gusto natin. And we will now be heading to our Q&A portion, mga ka-TGFI and Comunizens. And anyway, just a quick shout out to some of our ka-TGFI who are actively commenting in our Facebook Live. Hello to you, Marian Calao. Maraming salamat, ka-TGFI. For interested buyers and further queries, please don't hesitate to contact AboitizLand directly through their email. It's aboitizland@aboitiz.com. Again, mga ka-TGFI and Comunizen, kung meron kayong mga tanong and interested to buy house from AboitizLand, you can directly contact them through aboitizland@aboitiz.com. And I believe our representatives from AboitizLand are also monitoring our comments right now. So, merong mga sasagot sa iba't ibang katanungan natin. And again, we will be heading to our Q&A portion, mga ka-TGFI and Comunizens. Don't forget to comment your questions now since we are giving away TGFI polo shirts to the 5 lucky participants. Ladies and gentlemen, let us all welcome once again our speakers from AboitizLand, and let's formally start our Q&A session. There you go. O yan, no? Ang gaganda and ang pogi. O, saan pa kayo? Nakaupo lang kayo dyan. Parang binibentahan kayo ng bahay ng mga artista. You're actually being informed about good properties currently that is being offered by AboitizLand. So yeah, just keep those questions coming. So first question that I have here is for Miss Farah. Miss Farah, one of the questions I have here is real estate investing purely online possible?
Hi, Amiel. The short answer is yes. With AboitizLand's contactless home buying service, I was just talking about this earlier. It's something we're very proud to offer in AboitizLand, no? Where every step the home buying journey is digitally enabled. From choosing from several options online, the perfect home for you and your family, to virtually visiting the properties through our virtual tours, to paperless and online submissions of your documents through the AboitizLand Vecino app, and making online payments, getting information about the status of your house construction, up until you accept your house through our virtual turnovers. So digital and contactless is the future, and we are proud to bring it to you today through the AboitizLand contactless home buying service.
Wow, that's great, that's great. O yan, di ba mga ka-TGFI and Comunizen, parang ano na lang tayo, nag-shop na lang tayo ng damit ngayon, kahit sa bahay. Nakaupo lang kayo, you will click, a representative will talk to you, will give you a virtual tour, and will guide you all throughout. So my next question is actually for Miss Monica. Miss Monica, what are the pros and cons of investing now in real estate?
Okay, hi Amiel again. No,
Hello.
Sige, I will start with the cons because I already talked about the pros earlier. No, I think several, but I'll give you a few. The first is that it would require a larger sum of money at the outset compared to other investments, right? That's one. Number two is that there's a learning curve that you have to go through. And if you're thinking about building wealth through real estate, it may take a little bit of time to master this. And yes, you might make costly mistakes along the way, but that is exactly why I said earlier that you must make yourselves aware of what's out there, and then you identify individuals or you identify developers that you can work well with and that you can trust. You must prepare for that investment. Okay. The third thing, and I think a most basic thing, is that real estate is typically a long-term investment, right? Now, you must go into it with, or you must go into it knowing that you cannot or probably will not be able to cash it out at a moment's notice, right? Your wealth is not going to be built instantly. It's not going to be overnight, right? As I said earlier, the longer you sit on it, probably the higher the values will grow. Now, if you are thinking of, let's say, let's buy a fixer-upper, let's flip a house, for example, yes, you may turn a profit, but don't expect it to be as sizable as your usual value appreciation if you spend a longer time holding that asset. Now, again, no, if you do it right and you do it in a smart manner, the long-term nature of real estate is what really makes it, what makes its benefits outweigh its risks. Okay, as I said, it appreciates over time, and this appreciation is typically more than the inflation rates yearly. And I also mentioned earlier, one of the other pros, it has intrinsic value, right? Stocks can go down to zero, for example, if you have stocks, right? Property, on the other hand, will always have tangible value, right? Just from being raw land or just from being a home or a building. And its value goes up, especially if you have made improvements to it over the years, right? And I think for me, the most important thing is that you really have control over your investment when you invest in real estate. You're able to directly manage the risk of owning a property, unlike stocks where the value can fluctuate or move based on decisions that are made inside a boardroom or by company management, right? And when you have real estate, it's also flexible, meaning you can own it passively or actively if you're willing to rent it out. For example, there are so many options across so many different types of assets. That's why, for me, the pros outweigh the cons more in investing in real estate.
Okay, I completely agree. And okay, another thing na magiging concern ng ating mga ka-TGFI communities or any client that we have there. Like for myself, minsan natatakot ako bumili ng damit online kasi hindi ko alam kung kasya ba sa akin to o hindi. So, my next question will go actually to Miss Farah. Ma'am, wouldn't be the experience of seeing the property in person be different from a virtual tour?
Yes, of course, it will be different, Amiel, no? The journey of, hindi lang to damit, di ba? The journey of buying a home is something that's really meaningful for every Filipino, especially that most families only get to buy one home in their lifetime. So nothing will really replace the physical and actual experience, including visiting the property site and the model units. But especially now that we are in a pandemic, where our health is just as important, if not more important, it's good to have options. And that's where our virtual tours come in. It's the closest you can get to the real thing. We've made it really immersive and easy to navigate. And it has benefits over actual site visits as well. One, it saves time. Most people looking for a property visit on average about 5 to 7 homes before they finally settle on one. So the virtual tours really cut down on the time wasted on properties that you don't eventually want to buy. Second, there's no rush. You can take as much time as you need without feeling rushed by a seller. Third, it's available 24/7. There's no need to schedule trips with tour guides. You can do it at night, anytime you feel like it. Lastly, and this is very important, it shows what a community is like built up. Usually, on a site visit, yung makikita mo lang doon is the area is under construction still, or model unit lang yung makikita mo. But with a virtual tour, you get to have a visual sense of what your future community really looks like. So that's a really important thing, at least for me, no? And that's on top of the benefit of safety and reducing your chances of exposure to COVID-19.
Correct.
But if you prefer to actually visit the site still, as I said earlier, nothing beats the real thing. Our property specialists are trained to assist you in every step with any concerns you may have. Our site visit process follows the strictest health protocols, so you are ensured of a safe experience when you do drop by and visit us.
Oh, there you go. Thank you, Miss Farah. Okay, yan, mga ka-TGFI and Communicants, narinig nyo. So, it can, napakadali and it will be more convenient and makakapag-save pa tayo ng time in case that you are planning, you wanted to have a virtual tour with AboitizLand. And again, to our interested buyers and further queries, please don't hesitate to contact AboitizLand directly through their email. It's aboitizland@aboitiz.com. And my next question will go to Miss Anne. Miss Anne, if I am planning on retiring soon and starting a business, are your communities conducive to small businesses?
Hi, Amiel. Hi, everyone. Good evening. The answer is yes, definitely. The good news, part of every Aoya project, what we call a town plaza, will be the face of every community. It will house different retail and F&B shops that will cater to the community and its immediate neighbors, such as but not limited to convenience stores, laundry shops, restaurants, cafes. These shop houses are designed with entrepreneurs in mind. The ground floor is designed for commercial center, while the upper floors, the second and third floor, are for residential use naman. So this is perfect for entrepreneurs who wish to live and work in one place. And by the way, the price range of shop houses is between 4 to 8 million, and you can pay for only 26,000 to 42,000 for a monthly down payment. So definitely buying a shop house will be a wise investment.
Oh, there you go mga
Thank you,
ka-TGFI. So aside from investing in real estate, pwede nang magplano ano ang next business, ano ang susunod na pagkakakitaan, anong ikayayaman pa natin after investing in real estate. So, okay, for my next question will go to Ms. Rufa. Ms. Rufa, what can you find in Lima? Is the villages at Lipa inside Lima?
Hi, Amiel. Hi, mga ka-TGFI. Good evening. Lima is a 600-hectare Aboitis estate, no? That's dubbed as the next big thing in the south. It's basically a fully integrated township with industrial, commercial, and residential components. So for a residential component, we have there the largest privately owned industrial park with more than 80 locators, more than 50,000 employees. For our commercial component naman, we have there the biggest outdoor shopping center in the country, the outlets at Lipa, and the villages at Lipa makes up its residential component. So as I mentioned earlier, it's a 49-hectare development, no, with sprawling villages within the village. So there's really a lot of things happening there, a lot of opportunities being created, and these things make Lima all the more exciting to be a part of.
Okay, there you go. So, and am I right to say, Ms. Rufa, it will be a good investment as well? For example, meron ka ng bahay somewhere. It's also a good investment in a way that it can be rented out to the executives as well as the employees who are actually working in Lima side.
Definitely, because as I mentioned, we have more than 50,000 employees and counting, no? So those are your prospects in mind when you think about renting out your properties in the future.
Yes, that's right. So another passive income, mga ka-TGFI. In any case that you're already owned your a real estate or you're living in a place but you still want another passive income, you can think about this one. Okay, the next question will go to Ms. Monica. Ms. Monica, how do you promote safety and security in your communities?
Okay, safety and security. First off, in AboitizLand, already at the outset of our development plans, we make certain that we stay true to our brand promise. No? Our brand promise in AboitizLand is creating better ways to live, right? And how do we do this? We start by master planning our communities to be human scaled, right? When you say master plan a community, it means that you're putting development together with anchoring principles on how you're going to plan it or how you're going to set it up on site, your blocking, your houses, where are they positioned, where are your common areas, right? And when we plan this in a human-scaled manner, the anchoring principles of this type of development means that it has people first in mind, right? So the spaces are accessible and the community is walkable. There is separation between vehicular and pedestrian zones. Those are clearly defined so that your pedestrian spaces flow into each other, right? And what this results in is an inherently safer and more secure, more livable community where you have your front doors not necessarily opening up onto a busy street, but opening out onto parks, for example, right? And then your vehicular access roads are away from areas where people walk or jog or congregate. And so you basically have safer outdoor spaces when you live in an AboitizLand community. And I have to say, not to mention that in AboitizLand, we have a highly skilled property management team and on-site service partners that make sure to take care of our communities and our vecinos. So it's pretty much well-rounded from planning all the way to implementation. When you move in, you're ensured a safe and secure community.
Okay, thank you, Miss Monica. And you know what, ka-TGFI, sa ating mga kababayan, sa ating fellow Filipinos, I got some comments here which are actually coming from different countries, even outside Philippines. So, shout out sa ating mga OFW, sa ating mga kababayan na wala sa Pilipinas ngayon, sa ating mga bagong bayani. And just a quick shout out to some of our viewers like Jenny, Bernie Tugna, Ana, and Esquivel Gamit, Luisa, and Marian. So speaking of OFW as well as those people residing outside Philippines, I got a question here that can be answered by Sir Christian or Miss Rufa. If I am a foreigner, can I invest in properties? And what are my options?
Hi, Amiel, and hi, ka-TGFI. Good evening once again. I'm Christian. Absolutely, yes. For Cebu, you can actually invest in the Persimmon Studios. All our units are ready for occupancy, which means that you can live in it already for end use or for investment. And I'm sure Rufa has also a project located in South Luzon that is ready for investment. Hi, Rufa.
Hello. So if you're a foreigner, you can invest in condominium units, and one of the product types that we have in our thriving beach community of seafront residences is the seafront villas. These villas have condominium certificates of title, and they are best for us retirement homes, for our foreigners. Now, if you're a foreigner who's married to a Filipino citizen, then your options are widened. You can opt to buy a lot, you can opt to buy a house and lot. So there, but for foreigners, then the condominium product types are the best investment options for you.
Okay, thank you for that, Sir Christian and Miss Rufa. So yes, there you have it to our fellow OFW or kababayan na nagpalit na ng passport from ng citizenship from Filipino to another. So actually, my next question will be for Miss Bea. I am not sure if I should be getting a home loan. Miss Bea, what should I prepare for before availing a loan?
Okay, Sir Amiel. Hello, good afternoon. For the housing loan application, if our borrowers is employed, they just need to submit the latest certificate of employment and their ITR. If they are self-employed, they need to submit the complete documents for their business, like the DTI registration, latest ITRs with audited financial statements, 6 months bank statements, and the application form and valid IDs.
Okay, ma'am.
OFW, they can submit also their job contract, sir.
Okay, great. So, ma'am, is there any email address or contact details that you want us you want to repeat to our fellow Filipinos if they want to avail a home loan from Union Bank?
Yes, if they want to submit their application form, they can email me at gvvasquez@unionbankph.com. My mobile number is 0917-818-7406.
Okay, there you go mga ka-TGFI and Communisens.
Thank you, sir.
Binigay na ni Miss Bay ang mobile number niya. Huwag kayong text na kung ano-ano dyan. It's just about loan, okay? So, bawal pang lumabas. So, huwag niyo itatext si Miss Bay na it's just about loan ka-TGFI. But anyway, yeah, to all our viewers, if you have to all our viewers ka-TGFI Communisens, if there's any I know that this webinar, this Facebook Live is building a lot of curiosity as well as interest in buying a new home, especially from AboitizLand. So for interested buyers and further queries, please don't hesitate to contact AboitizLand directly through their email. It's aboitisland@aboitiz.com. Again, that is aboitisland@aboitiz.com. So, Miss Farah, or if anyone from our sales team can assist, if I am overseas, I'm not in the Philippines right now, how can I buy when I'm outside Philippines?
Yeah, good question. Thanks, Amiel. When we put together the contactless home buying service, we were not only designing it for Filipinos who wanted safer and more convenient options when purchasing a property, right? We also thought about how it will serve our overseas kababayans, which really make up a big portion of our vecinos or our customer base. So as I mentioned before, in AboitizLand, the entire home buying process is digitally enabled, meaning you can buy from anywhere you are in the world. So for our overseas kababayans who depend on the internet and digital tools to stay connected to their families back home, you can actually take the home buying journey together with your families in the Philippines through our various and complete digital platforms. So alam mo naman, gusto natin, kasama natin yung families natin every step of the way, right? So
Correct.
The internet and our digital tools and the contactless home buying service, that's really, really possible. So just get in touch with us so we can show you how. In addition, we also have marketing partners all around the world who can assist you for those who prefer to still be assisted by someone that you know. So wherever you are, there are marketing partners with AboitizLand. So just get in touch with him or her.
Okay, there you go. So can I, because TGFI as a social enterprise that promotes financial literacy to all our kababayan, part of what we are promoting here, what we are promoting in TGFI is also for our fellow Filipinos to avail insurance. But can I say that unlike insurance, for real estate, I can buy it even I'm not in the Philippine soil. Tama po ba? If I'm not mistaken, magpapa-SPA lang tayo para sa yung representative natin sa Pilipinas ang gagawa ng mga bagay-bagay if there's any requirement na kailangan ng physical presence. I believe I'm right to say that, correct, Miss Farah?
Ako pala yun, yes.
Sorry. So even I'm outside of Philippines, it's okay that someone is signing for me, or I'll be signing or someone will be signing on my behalf.
Yes.
Okay, that's great. And then halimbawa naman, I'm looking for a business or a job, maybe especially if it's pandemic, and I believe that AboitizLand properties are properties are really good in a way that I want to recommend it to my friends, to my family, and to all the people in my network. But of course, syempre gusto ko rin kumita. This question will go to Sir Christian. Sir, is there a special skill set needed for one to be a real estate agent?
Hi, Amiel. Yes, so definitely there are really qualities that you need to become a successful real estate agent. So for one, you need to have that determination. You must really be determined to succeed. It's also important that you have that ability to negotiate, especially that you will be dealing with so many customers, clients.
Correct.
A winning personality is a must, I must say. Of course, integrity is very, very important. And I would say finally, you need to have a good communication skills.
Okay, thank you for that, Sir Christian. So to all our ka-TGFI and Communicents, hindi lang pagbili ng bahay, hindi lang pagkita ng passive income through pagbili ng real estate and pagpaparenta ang dinidiscuss natin dito. Pwede rin tayong magkatrabaho with AboitizLand as long as you have those special skill set. And okay, my next question will be for Miss Anne. Miss Anne, how far is Ahoya from Metro Manila and Clark International Airport?
Hi, Amiel. You would be surprised to know that sobrang lapit lang. For example, for Ahoya, Pampanga, it's only 1.5 hour or 72 kilometers away from Manila. Can you imagine that? So ang bilis. And 37 minutes or 28 kilometers away from Clark International Airport. So sobrang lapit. And then for Ahoya Capas naman, it's around 1 and 45 minutes to 2 hours or 110 kilometers away from Manila and 39 minutes or 27 kilometers away from Clark Airport. So parang ano lang yung distance ni Pampanga and Capas, no? When it comes to Clark International Airport. So for Cabanatuan naman, Ahoya Cabanatuan, it's only 2 hours and 43 minutes or 156 kilometers away from Manila. So can you imagine, no? Ang bilis na ngayon. And 1 hour and 36 minutes or 79 kilometers away from Clark International Airport. So sabi nga, the Ahoya projects are not only near Clark Airport or what we call the Asia's next premier gateway, but as well as the new Clark City, if you're familiar, which is the new seat of government in 2030, as I mentioned earlier, and the first Philippines smart, resilient, and green metropolis. So there's definitely a lot of exciting infra projects in North Luzon to watch out for. So mag-invest na kayo.
Okay, there you go. There you go, ka-TGFI. So, napaka-convenient and marami tayong options kung saan mas convenient, kung saan sa tingin nyo mas convenient sa inyo. So, my next question will go again to Sir Christian or Ms. Rufa. If I purchase a unit, I believe I can have it rented out, correct?
Yes, Samuel, especially in the Persimmon Studios, no, because all of our units are actually ready for occupancy. And for those who are interested to invest in the Persimmon Studios, just an information for everybody, our rental yield as of today is between 6 to 8%. So value for money really for everybody.
Okay, there you go. So take the opportunity, mga ka-TGFI and our communicants. So again, this is the next question will go. It's either to Sir Christian, Ms. Rufa, or Ms. Anne. How much capital do we need to start investing in real estate?
Okay, I'll go first.
Go ahead, ma'am.
So aside from paying the 20,000 or 30,000 reservation fee as an initial investment, so I'll be giving you figures per project for the lowest monthly down payment na you can highly afford. So for Ahoya Pampanga, of a lot only investment of 125 square meters, you can pay for as low as 6,900 monthly for 24 months. Okay? And then for Ahoya Capas naman, lot only of 158 square meters, you will pay only 9,088 for 24 months. If you remember earlier, di ba, we talked about the promos.
Yes.
So ito yung mga yon. And then for Ahoya Cabanatuan naman, lot only of 120 square meters, you can pay for as low as 7,492 for 24 months. So the rest of the house and lot packages for North Luzon, yung Ahoya namin, ranges from 1.8 to 7.8 million. That includes the shop houses.
Okay, thank you for that information, Miss Anne. So my next question will be for anyone from our sales team or Union Bank representative. Can a person start in investing in a house and lot with capital that can only support down payment, and this person without credit points for bank financing? Again, can a person start investing in a house and lot with capital that can only support down payment and without credit points for bank financing?
Hi, sir. Apo, for that, actually, if they have down payment, they can actually buy. But if the down payment is like 18 months to pay or 24 months to pay, so they have still ample time to prepare for the income requirements of the bank. So if they would like to apply for the balance for bank financing, they really have to prepare for the income requirements para po maging approvable po yung loan application nila.
Okay. Thank you, Miss Bay. And I have I'm getting some comments from our viewers. Actually, one of the comment is coming from shout out to you, Miss Bernie Tugna. Is there is there one Google Drive available for all these projects? Miss Bernie, someone from TGFI or from AboitizLand will get in touch with you so we can send you some of the details regarding the projects that we are talking about tonight. So for my next question, this will go to Sir Christian. Sir, how to invest in a Cebu real estate? What companies to invest into?
All right. I actually like this question. So there are several important considerations now when you invest. Well, I guess not just in Cebu, but in general, I should say. Well, number one, we talked about this earlier. It's all about location. So if you're looking for a property outside of the metro, you need to look out for upcoming infrastructure and developments. We learned earlier that these projects located in these areas will appreciate. The value will actually appreciate over time. So that's one. Now, if you're looking for properties within the metro, look out for projects or developments that can earn passive income sooner. And of course, you need to look for a developer which has a good track record for, again, value appreciation. Number two is that the community features. So make sure that it's well planned and the features actually fit your lifestyle. Number three, which I think is also very important for those who are really looking for investments now, is the affordability. So look out for promos. You can look out for developers who are offering reduced reservation fees, extended payment terms, and contactless transactions, especially that you are based overseas. Now, the good thing about the things that I mentioned earlier is that we actually have projects located here, located outside of the metro, and also projects which are located at the heart of the city. So for example, for a house and lot residential community, our AMOA, which is located up north in Cebu, in Compostela to be very specific, is very ideal for those who want to invest in a house and lot or lot only community. I highlighted earlier that in the years to come, the Cebu Expressway will be completed. So this 73-kilometer expressway will actually traverse in AMOA. So very ideal for those investors. And if you're looking for properties located here in the city, we have the Persimmon Studios. Again, this is an RFO unit. So when you purchase today, in 3 months' time, we can actually turn over the property to you, and you can make use of that property and earn passive income.
Nice. That's nice. That's really nice to know. So my next question is actually it's either Miss Anne or Sir Christian. Recommended real estate investment type for young professionals like me. I'm so young. So sa mga 18 years old, kagaya ko, nakaka-start lang ng career, marirecommend yung real estate investment type?
Okay.
Sige, Anne. Go ahead, Anne.
Yeah. So there are array of choices actually, Aniel, no? Depending on the purpose of the investment. But I can suggest they start with lot-only investment or with units offering affordable monthly BP. So if I mentioned the lot-only packages kanina, now I will give you figures para you can do your computations na. Mm-hmm. So for Ahoya Cabanatuan, for a 2-bedroom single attached, you can pay for as low as 13,958 for 24 months yung extended term namin, no?
Okay.
And then for Ahoya Capas naman, can you imagine this having a townhouse mid-unit na 9,200 lang yung babayaran mo for 18 months. So napaka-affordable. And then for Pampanga naman, for a 2-bedroom unit, since mga young professionals pa naman ito, they would only pay like 14,000 a month lang for 18 months. So 'di ba, para meron ka ng investment, kumbaga as young as you are now, start investing. Okay?
Okay. So to all the yuppies there, all the youngsters like me, guys, mag-invest na habang bata. As in, pasasalamatan nyo ako and the rest of the AboitizLand representatives here pagka nag-invest kayo sa murang edad. So my next question will be for Miss Monica. Is it, ito kasi, laging ang mga tao, our fellow Filipinos, natatakot na bahay at lupa yan. Pinapakinggan ko palang ang bigat na. And I will tell you that I'm just an average person, hindi ako mayaman. Is it possible for an average person to invest in real estate?
Okay, sige. That's a very good question, Amiel. No, let's define average, right? You said we have our income is not necessarily extensive, right? Number one, and that could be for many different reasons. That you're just probably entering into the workforce, or getting newly established in your career, or you have your own business that it's up and coming, right? And you're trying to make that go, no? If so, then my answer is absolutely yes. If you are in that situation, you can invest in real estate. What's most important when you're in that situation is that you are mindful when you're getting started about your capacity to purchase, and more importantly, your capacity to sustain that purchase, right? So you really need to think long-term here. How much money do I have right now? Or how much money do I need to save to make a good down payment, for example? There are options. You can make a bigger down payment today if you have saved money, and make your monthly amortization manageable, right? Or you also can think about, if I don't have savings today, is my monthly income ample, right? Or is it secure? Is it stable enough, whether it's a workplace or a business, right? What's your minimum yield or income every single month, right? So that I can make that monthly payment and eventually get a loan at a good rate from a lender of my choice, right? How stable is my monthly expected incoming cash, right? So those are the things you need to talk about or think about, actually. No, and then be very, very clear when you're going into this about what you can afford, and you need to purchase accordingly, right? As I said earlier, no, malaki siyang investment. Hindi siya biro, no? Kailangan mong aralin yan. You have to study it. You have to learn it. And you take opportunities to educate yourself, like watching our session here today, for example, no?
Correct.
Understand what you're getting into. And then, so once you've established your budget, right? Let's say once you've established your budget, you want to also begin exploring thoroughly what is out there for you, right? You need to make yourself aware about what fits your budget, your needs, and your goals, whether immediate or long-term goals, right? So goals meaning, do I want a house, right? Do I want the house right now? Or do I see real estate as something that I can grow my wealth with today or eventually, and then when I turn it around, I can buy my dream house? Meaning, I don't want to settle today. I'll go slowly, and then I'll buy my dream house later on. Iba-iba tayo ng goals, right? Remember, you have an abundance of options to grow your wealth in real estate, right? Without needing to buy a house necessarily. House and lot today, right? There are lots. Like I said, there are rental properties, right? Christian was saying kanina, there's a condo. Anne was saying there are lots only also in South Luzon. You can start that small, right? And there are also affordable options that are out there in many different places. So identify your opportunities. If you feel like you're just average, you don't know how to get in there, identify your opportunities. Identify developers, banks, brokers that you can partner with, right? To guide you through the purchase. People you can trust. Okay, AboitizLand, for example, I'm going to say we've been around for over 25 years. And we are part of a conglomerate, the Aboitiz Group, that has been around for over 100 years. So in terms of stability, you have to look for partners in your venture, in your real estate investment venture that are like that, right? Because when making a significant purchase like this, you always want to make sure that you're working with experts that you can trust. So yes, absolutely, you can do it.
Okay. So There you have it, mga ka-TGFI, ating community. And I actually got a follow-up question from one of our audience. Kasi, yun nga, it's good that you guys are watching a webinar, a Facebook live session like this, because it's always good to be knowledgeable and malaman mo kung ano ang pinapasok mo bago mo pasukin talaga ito. So, the question that was answered by Miss Monica earlier is, for example nga, yun nga, I'm an average citizen, I am an employee, and then ito na-compute ko na, kaya naman pala. But any advice, ito yung follow-up question natin that can be answered either by Miss Monica, Sir Christian, Miss Anne, or Miss Rufa. Any advice to individuals interested in investing in real estate but do not have stable income sources? So this goes to our freelancers and hindi natin alam kung magkaka-project tayo next month or wala.
Okay. I'll start no, and then you guys can chime in later. No, same thing. Understand your monthly capacity. Yes, you may be a freelancer, but then you've been a freelancer for 6 months already, for 1 year, for 2 years. Take a look at your yearly income, right? And what would be your most conservative, or let's say your minimum monthly if divided by a whole entire year's income, and assess that, right? You're running a business, you have consultancy. So take a look at your conservative monthly income over the past few months, over the past year, right? Average it out. What do you earn, right? And then from that average monthly income, see what's disposable. Okay, so I'm wondering if everybody knows what that means, no? What's disposable income?
Mm-hmm.
It's the money you have left to spend as you choose, right? After you have paid for all the expenses necessary in your life. Okay? All right? So, when you look at that and you assess your disposable income, sometimes you may find that there are things that you spend on that you might not really need, right? Or it might not be a necessity for you today, but rather a lifestyle choice. For example, now, when you see that, see where you can scale down on your spending to be able to increase your disposable income to purchase that property comfortably. When I say comfortably, again, think long-term here, right? Ito ba ay minimum ko na talagang conservatively speaking, nakabayad na ang telepono ko, di ba? Rent, kung meron man, right? And visualize that, write it down really. And then, another thing is, kung wala kang, sabihin natin, wala kang pera ngayon, no? And you are lucky enough to be in a rent-free state. I don't know if you're living with your parents or you're living with your family members, right? You don't necessarily have to start your real estate investment by buying into a house and lot that you need to use today. Okay? Take that opportunity that you're living rent-free or mortgage-free to buy into something that is manageable based on that disposable income. And then go from there, right? Chris, Anne, or Rufa, anybody else?
Yeah, to add to Mon's point earlier, no, it really pays to have a good grasp of your minimum income, right? Say you're saying you don't have a stable income, right? In some months, say you'll receive 100,000. On other months, you'll receive 30,000. It wouldn't be wise to base your spending on your 100K. So you will base it on the minimum amount that you're sure to have, right? In any given month. Now, a good rule of thumb for home amortization is to earmark or set aside 30% of your income. Right? So, for example, if you have 30,000 minimum income, 9,000 can be used as your home amortization budget. The next step would be to look for properties that would give you the maximum value given your budget. For example, in the villages at Lipa, you can be part of that community for as low as 7,000. So that would be a good thing to note. If you have a little more, right, to give, for 15,000, you can be part of a world-class beach community and seafront residences. Another important thing also is that you can ask the developers in the banks for sample computations. As Bea mentioned earlier, they have home loan calculators available online to see if you can afford buying a certain property, right? And also in AboitizLand, in partnership with UBP, we do initial assessment. At before you reserve your property, we can do pre-qualification to see
Mhm.
if if all things being equal, if nothing drastic happens to your finances 2 years down the road, will you be qualified for a home loan with UBP? So that's an important step for AboitizLand also to know, and for the Filipinos to know whether or not they can afford a certain property. And I think another crucial thing that home buyers often overlook is that their payment history during the equity period. What do I mean? Yung monthly payment mo that you pay the developers, diba? Before, usually yan 20% you pay with the developers on a period of 2 years, or in the case of AboitizLand, we have 10% in 24 months. So during those 24 months, you have to be able to pay your you have to be able to settle your payables on time, because it already says a lot about your capacity to pay, and it builds your credit score when it's time for you to get your loan for your balance.
Okay, there you go, ladies and gentlemen, ka-TGFI, mga Komunizen. Tutulungan rin tayo ng AboitizLand to assess kung kakayanin ba talaga natin to, not just pushing the sales or whatsoever for any project. Of course, it's very important that we will be able to sustain in terms of budget natin buwan-buwan kung kakayanin natin ang isang property or not. And I really appreciate mga ka-TGFI and Komunizens na a lot of questions keeps on coming, but due to our time constraint, I'll be asking our last question for tonight. But actually, don't worry about that, because you can still keep those questions coming in, because our representatives from AboitizLand and Union Bank, I'm sure they will be willing to answer all those queries even right after this live stream. So for my last question for today, it can be answered by Miss Rufa, Miss Monica, Miss Farah, or Sir Christian, anyone from the team. Do AboitizLand's projects that are do your projects that are new normal friendly? If yes, what makes those projects new normal friendly?
Okay, I'll start. No, as I mentioned earlier, how we master plan our communities, it has open space in mind, right? And new normal, yes, you have to be 6 feet apart at least, no? But more than that, what is it? It's making sure that now when you have a choice, as I said earlier, about where you're living, you can be in a very family friendly place, safe place, right? And be able to do everything from our developments, no? Rufa said earlier, you can work from paradise in seafront, right? So the way our developments are designed, number one, our master plan is conducive for that new normal in terms of our open space. I'm sure there are other things that everybody else can add here. We have a lot.
Yes, to add, we also offer we have amenities like clubhouses, basketball courts, swimming pools that do not only help strengthen and promote the physical and mental well-being of our vecinos or our buyers, but basically these are in place for social distancing, security, and safety of the whole community. Plus, we have a town plaza where you need not go out of the community to buy essentials. Everything you need is right outside of your home. As we say, there's more to live for in Ahoya. And the whole AboitizLand, of course.
Okay. Anyone wants to add from the team? So, yan mga ka-TGFI, mga Communisens, napakadaming projects na ino-offer ni AboitizLand depending na lang yon sa choice nyo of the location as well as if you want to do a resort living or a community which is near your workplace. And yan mga ka-TGFI, ating Communisen, thank you for joining us here in our real estate investing in the new normal. We hope and I know that you learned a lot from our beautiful and handsome speakers from today. So again, kagaya ko, I believe ang daming curious and marami pang tanong ang gustong masagot ng ating ka-TGFI and Communisens coming from our representatives from AboitizLand. So for interested buyers and further queries, please don't hesitate to contact AboitizLand directly through their email. It's aboitisland@aboitiz.com. Again, ka-TGFI and Communisens, it's aboitisland@aboitiz.com. Don't forget to like and share this video to your family and friends para hindi lang kayo ang natuto at yayaman, pati ang inyong kapamilya at mga kaibigan. Ladies and gentlemen, I am your host for tonight, Emil Brian Aguila. Stay safe and see you in our next Facebook Live session. Have a great morning, good afternoon, and great evening, everyone.